Minneapolis-St. Paul is a major metropolitan area built around the Mississippi, Minnesota, and St. Croix rivers. The area is commonly known as the Twin Cities for its two largest cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, the city with the highest population in Minnesota and its state capital, respectively. It is a classic example of twin cities in the sense of geographical proximity. Together the two cities anchor the second-largest economic center in the Midwest behind Chicago. There are several different definitions of the region. Many refer to the Twin Cities as the seven-county region, which is governed under the Metropolitan Council regional governmental agency and planning organization. The United States Office of Management and Budget officially designates 16 counties as the Minneapolis-St. Paul-Bloomington MNY Metropolitan Statistical Area, the 16th largest in the United States. The entire region known as the Minneapolis-St. Paul MNY Combined Statistical Area, has a population of 3,797,883, the 14th largest, according to 2013 census estimates. Despite the twin moniker, the two cities are independent municipalities with defined borders and are quite distinct from each other. Minneapolis is somewhat younger with modern skyscrapers, while St. Paul has been likened to a European city with quaint neighborhoods and a vast collection of well-preserved late Victorian architecture. Minneapolis was influenced by its early Scandinavian and Lutheran heritage and hosts the largest Somali population in North America. St. Paul was influenced by its early French, Irish and German Catholic roots and currently hosts a thriving Hmong population. Populated places. Counties. The Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area includes a total of 16 counties, of which 14 are located in Minnesota and 2 in Wisconsin. Note: counties that are bolded are under jurisdiction of the Metropolitan Council. Numbers in parentheses are 2013 census estimates. Counties that are italicized were added to the metropolitan area when the Office of Management and Budget revised its delineations of metropolitan statistical areas in 2013. Hennepin County, Ramsey County, Dakota County, Anoka County, Washington County, Scott County, Wright County, Carver County, Sherburne County, St. Croix County, Wisconsin, Chisago County, Pierce County, Wisconsin, Isn't-I County, LeSueur County, Mille Lacs County, Sibley County. Cities and suburbs. There are approximately 218 incorporated municipalities located within the Twin Cities metropolitan region. This includes census-designated places along with villages in Wisconsin, but excludes unincorporated towns in Wisconsin, known as civil townships in other states. Estimates are as of 2013 for cities with 25,000 or more inhabitants. Places with over 100,000 inhabitants: Minneapolis, St. Paul. Places with 50,000 to 99,999 inhabitants: Bloomington, Brooklyn Park, Plymouth, Maple Grove, Woodbury, Eagan, Eden Prairie, Coon Rapids, Burnsville, Blaine, Lakeville, Minnetonka, Apple Valley. Places with 25,000 to 49,999 inhabitants: Edina, St. Louis Park, Maplewood, Shakopee, Richfield, Cottage Grove, Roseville, Inver Grove Heights, Andover, Brooklyn Center, Savage, Oakdale, Fridley, Shoreview, Ramsey, Prior Lake. Places with 10,000 to 24,999 inhabitants: White Bear Lake, Chanhassen, Chaska, Champlin, Elk River, Rosemount, Crystal, Farmington, Hastings, New Brighton, Lino Lakes, Golden Valley, New Hope, South Street, Paul, West Street, Paul, Columbia Heights, Forest Lake, Stillwater, Hopkins, Anoka, St. Michael, Buffalo, Ham Lake, River Falls, Wisconsin, Otsego, Robbinsdale, Hugo, Hudson, Wisconsin, Monticello, Vadnais Heights, Mounds View, North Street, Paul, East Bethel, Rogers, Waconia, Mendota Heights, Big Lake, Little Canada, North Branch. Places with fewer than 10,000 inhabitants: Arden Hills, Mound, New Richmond, Wisconsin, St. Anthony, Cambridge, Oak Grove, Lake Elmo, Victoria, Matomidi, Orono, Wyoming, Shorewood, New Prague, St. Francis, Albertville, Belle Plaine, Minnetrista, Spring Lake Park, Jordan, Delano, Corcoran, Falcon Heights, Isn't-I, St. Paul Park, Zimmerman, Medina, Circle Pines, Chisago City, Dayton, Oak Park Heights, Princeton, North Oaks, Becker, Northern, Elko Newmarket, Lindstrom, Rockford, Watertown, Prescott, Wisconsin, Wayzata, Carver, Grant, LeSueur, Scandia, Columbus, Baldwin, Wisconsin, Centerville, North Hudson, Wisconsin, Deep Haven, Bayport, Independence, Norwood, Young America, Newport, Annandale, Hanover, Ellsworth, Wisconsin, Montrose, Montgomery, Afton, Mylacar, Greenfield, Cocato, Somerset, Wisconsin, La Center, Osseo, Lauderdale, St. Bonifacius, Gaylord, Excelsior, Arlington, Maple Lake, Lexington, Howard Lake, Hammond, Wisconsin, Waterville, Meyer, Lakeland, Maple Plain, Long Lake, Brayham, Clearwater, Spring Park, Roberts, Wisconsin, Cologne, Tonka Bay, Stacy, Winthrop, Waverly, Woodville, Wisconsin, Spring Valley, Wisconsin, Glenwood City, Wisconsin, Harris, Delwood, Lake Street, Coy Beach, Schaefer, Taylor's Falls, Martin Lake, Henderson, Lilydale, Elmwood, Wisconsin, Holton, Wisconsin, Gibbon, Landfall, Hilltop, Cleveland, Hampton, Marine on St. Croix, Casota, Loretto, Elysian, Clear Lake, Center City, Plum City, Wisconsin, Minnetonka Beach, Green Isle, Sunfish Lake, Forston, Hamburg, Willonia, Bay City, Wisconsin, Bethel, Big Lake, Woodland, Randolph, New Auburn, Vermilion, Pine Springs, Gem Lake, Holton, Wisconsin, New Germany, Medicine Lake, St. Mary's Point, Hager City, Wisconsin, Lakeland Shores, Pease, Deer Park, Wisconsin, Wacon, Mendota, Diamond Bluff, Wisconsin, South Haven, Wilson, Wisconsin, Emerald, Wisconsin, Kilkenny, Heidelberg, Maiden Rock, Wisconsin, Stunchfield, New Trier, Bock, Combined Statistical Area. The Minneapolis St. Paul, MNY Combined Statistical Area is made up of 19 counties in Minnesota and 2 counties in Wisconsin. The statistical area includes 2 metropolitan areas and 3 micropolitan areas. As of the 2010 census, the CSA had a population of 3,684,928. The CSA definition encompasses 11,132.44 square miles of area. Components: Metropolitan Statistical Areas Minneapolis St. Paul, Bloomington, MNY St. Cloud. Micropolitan Statistical Areas Hutchinson, Faribault, Northfield, Red Wing. Rivalry. Minneapolis and St. Paul have competed since they were founded, resulting in some duplication of effort. After St. Paul completed its elaborate cathedral in 1915, Minneapolis quickly followed up with the equally ornate Basilica of St. Mary in 1926. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the rivalry became so intense that an architect practicing in one city was often refused business in the other. The 1890 United States Census even led to the two cities arresting or kidnapping each other's census takers, in an attempt to keep either city from outgrowing the other. The rivalry could occasionally erupt into intercity violence, as happened at a 1923 game between the Minneapolis Millers and the St. Paul Saints, both baseball teams of the American Association. In the 1950s, both cities competed for a Major League Baseball franchise, and there was a brief period in the mid-1960s where the two cities could not agree on a common calendar for daylight saving time, resulting in a period of a few weeks where people in Minneapolis were 1 hour behind anyone live or traveling in St. Paul. The city's mutual antagonism was largely healed by the end of the 1960s. Aided by the simultaneous arrival in 1961 of the Minnesota Twins of the American League and the Minnesota Vikings of the National Football League, both of which identified themselves with the state as a whole and not with either of the major cities. Since 1961, it has been common practice for any major sports team based in the Twin Cities to be named for Minnesota as a whole. In terms of development, the two cities remain distinct in their progress, with Minneapolis absorbing new and avant-garde architecture while St. Paul continues to carefully integrate new buildings into the context of classical and Victorian styles. Culture. Outdoors. There are numerous lakes in the region, and cities in the area have some very extensive park systems for recreation. Organized recreation includes the Great River Energy Bicycle Festival, the Twin Cities Marathon, and the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships. Some studies have shown that area residents take advantage of this, and are among the most physically fit in the country, though others have disputed that. Nonetheless, medicine is a major industry in the region and the southeasterly city of Rochester, as the University of Minnesota has joined other colleges and hospitals in doing significant research, and major medical device manufacturers started in the region. Technical innovators have brought important advances in computing, including the Cray line of supercomputers. It is common for residents of the Twin Cities area to own or share cabins and other properties along lakes and forested areas in the central and northern regions of the state, and weekend trips up north happen through the warmer months. Ice fishing is also a major pastime in the winter, although each year some over-ambitious fishermen find themselves in dangerous situations when they venture out onto the ice too early or too late. Hunting, snowmobiling, ATV riding and numerous other outdoor activities are also popular. This connectedness with the outdoors also brings a strong sense of environmentalism to many Minnesotans. In 2011 and 2012, the American College of Sports Medicine named Minneapolis-St. Paul the healthiest metropolitan area in America. Demography. Place of birth. Approximately 93.2% of the metropolitan area's population was native to the United States. Approximately 92.6% were born in the U.S., while 0.6% were born in Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory, or born abroad to American parents. The rest of the population were foreign-born. The highest percentages of immigrants came from Asia, Latin America, and Africa. Smaller percentages of newcomers came from Europe, other parts of North America, and Oceania. Religion. Minneapolis-St. Paul is also a major center for religion in the state, especially Christianity. The state headquarters of the missionary efforts of 4 churches are found here: the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of St. Paul and Minneapolis, the Episcopal Diocese of Minnesota, the Presbyterian Synod of Lakes and Prairies, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Presbyterian and LDS churches both have missions in St. Paul, Minneapolis and Bloomington. The headquarters of the former American Lutheran Church, Evangelical Lutheran Church, Lutheran Free Church and the Augustana Evangelical Lutheran Church were located in Minneapolis. The headquarters of Augsburg Fortress Publishing House still is. The Minneapolis Area Synod and the St. Paul Area Synod are the first and third largest synods of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, respectively. The Evangelical Free Church of America has its headquarters in Bloomington, and the Association of Free Lutheran Congregations is headquartered in Plymouth, along with its seminary and a Bible school. The Twin Cities are home to several synagogues serving the Jewish population, which is concentrated in the western Minneapolis suburbs of Golden Valley, St. Louis Park, Plymouth and Minnetonka. There is also a Hindu temple located in the Twin Cities suburb of Maple Grove. A recent influx of immigrants from Laos and Northern Africa has brought many more religions to the area. There are several Islamic masjids in the area. There is a temple for the religion of Eckankar in the suburb of Chanhassen known as the Temple of Ek. In addition, many Hmong and Tibetan Buddhist peoples live in St. Paul. A Hmong Buddhist temple opened in suburban Roseville in 1995. The LDS St. Paul, Minnesota temple opened in Oakdale, a suburb east of St. Paul, in 2000. There are several very strong Unitarian Universalist communities such as the First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, as well as several pagan and Buddhist groups. The cities of St. Paul and Minneapolis have been called Paganistan due to the large numbers of pagans living there. There are an estimated 20,000 pagans living in the Twin Cities area. The Old Belief Society opened a temple in northeast Minneapolis in 2010. Minneapolis is where the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association started and was home for more than 50 years. Sports. The following table shows the professional sports teams in the Minneapolis-St. Paul MSA. The Twin Cities is one of 12 American metropolitan areas to have teams in all four major sports: MLB, NFL, NBA and NHL. To avoid favoring either of the Twin Cities, most teams based in the area use only the word Minnesota in their name, rather than Minneapolis or St. Paul. In 1992, Minneapolis hosted Super Bowl 26. It was the furthest north that a Super Bowl has ever been played. The NFL picked Minneapolis to host Super Bowl 52 in 2018. The Twin Cities host 3 nationally competing roller derby leagues: the Minnesota Roller Girls of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association Division I, the North Star Roller Girls of WFTDA Division II, and Minnesota Men's Roller Derby, a league of the Men's Roller Derby Association. MNRG and NSRG possess 4 home teams each. The Dagger Dolls, Garter Belts, Rockets, and Atomic Bombshells of MNRG and the Banger Sisters, Delta Delta Die, Kilmore Girls and Violent Femmes of NSRG, as well as 2 traveling teams each. MMRD possesses 3 home teams: the Gentlemen's Club, Destruction Workers, and Thunderjacks, and 2 traveling teams. The annual Twin Cities Marathon is held in the fall with a course running through Minneapolis and St. Paul. Minneapolis was the birthplace of rollerblade and is a center for inline skating, as well as home to the most golfers per capita of any city in the U.S. Additionally, water skiing got its start on Lake Pepin, a short distance southeast of the metropolitan area. Some other sports teams gained their names from being in Minnesota before relocating. The Los Angeles Lakers get their name from once being based in Minneapolis, the city of lakes. The Dallas Stars got their name from being a Minnesota team, the Minnesota North Stars. Politics. The Republican National Committee held their national nominating convention at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul in 2008. Prior, both cities had combined to submit bids to host both the 2008 Democratic National Convention and the 2008 Republican National Convention. They competed against Denver and New York to host the Democratic Convention, and against New York, Cleveland and Tampa to host the Republican Convention. Previously, Minneapolis was host to the 1892 Republican National Convention. Economy. The Minneapolis-St. Paul area is home to 16 of Minnesota's 17 Fortune 500 headquarters: United Health Group, Target, Best Buy, SuperValu, CHS, 3M, U.S. Bancorp, General Mills, Land O'Lakes, Xcel Energy, Ameriprise Financial, C.H. Robinson Worldwide, Mosaic, Thrivent Financial, Ecolab, and St. Jude Medical. Large private companies include Cargill, Carlson, Anderson, Holiday Station Stores. Foreign companies with U.S. headquarters in the Twin Cities include Aimia, Allianz, Canadian Pacific, Coloplast, Medtronic, Pearson VUE, Pentair and RBC. The area has the second largest economy in the Midwest, behind only Chicago. The metro area continues to grow at a rapid pace. Currently, the Twin Cities is the second largest medical device manufacture center in North America. In August 2013, Minneapolis-St. Paul appeared on Forbes magazine's list of best places for business and careers. CNBC ranked Minnesota as the top state for business in 2015.